Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild-to-wild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the best personal and commercial wraps, Texas Truck Works delivers. Let Texas Truck Works founder Scott Stevens help you get the most out of your truck or Jeep. Texas Truck Works has decades of customizing experience, including power adders and complete engine swaps. Let the Texas Truck Works team design an upgrade plan that fits your budget. Get truck attitude today at TexasTruckWorks.com. From Studio A in Texas, USA, it's the award-winning All Things Automotive Car Talk Show, In Wheel Time. Just ahead, a review of our new car of the week, the 2020 Hyundai Venue. Ever heard of that?
Yep.
This week in automotive history, we got the stories making auto news headlines, that and some great guests just ahead on today's In Wheel Time Car Show for Saturday, November 28th, 2020. Howdy, along with Jeff Zekin, David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. Conrad and Mars are out. Actually, they're about to pop. They ate so much turkey. So just saying. Hope that everybody had a great Thanksgiving at home. And we hope that everybody stayed safe from that nasty COVID.
Do you know that for folks that think they ate too much, what we did was we set our scale back 10 pounds the night before.
Is that how that works?
Like you set your clock back, we set our scale back 10 pounds.
It's kind of like the mileage thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unplug the odometer.
Roll the odometer back.
In this case, we rolled the weights. Yeah.
Okay.
Just a little fun fact.
Well, you know, it's just too much food.
Yeah.
And you have to eat it if it's there, right?
Well, yeah, because, you know, hey, we cooked all of this. You've got to have another plate. No, I don't. I'm good. Thanks.
You know, what's common is that when you bring over a dish, could be, you know, the bean salad or potatoes or whatever the case.
The bean salad.
The bean salad. Kylie made the bean salad.
Did she?
Awesome.
Yeah.
You bring to-go boxes or you bring to-go plates.
That's a great idea.
You automatically do that because you know everybody's going to be taking it home, be it, you know, the desserts or the main dish or whatever the case.
Here, after you finish, before you leave, there's some styrofoam to-go things. Yeah. Everybody make themselves a little thing. We'll write your name on it. You get home, you can have it all over again.
You share it because it is Thanksgiving, and you know you're thankful for it, and then you don't have all of that to clean up and who's ever hosting.
And you know, somebody else that had a magnificent Thanksgiving would be Karolena Serratos, and she is joining us right now.
Yes, she is.
And Karolena, she is the head honcho over at Professional Auto Care. Hi, honey, how you doing?
Nothing short of lovely. How are y'all this morning?
Well, thank you. Are you at work?
I came to the shop, yes.
She's always at work.
Well, you look fabulous. I mean, are you open today?
No.
I was going to say. Because it's Thanksgiving weekend. I thought for sure that you would be at home in your bathrobe and talking to us about car maintenance and that sort of stuff. But no, she got all dressed up and everything.
Talk about car maintenance at the shop.
Oh, okay, car maintenance. Okay, so you relegate it strictly to the shop when you talk cars. Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Yes, it was just the four of us, but I mean we had a great time.
Good. Well, that's what it. Did you take a nap yesterday? I want to know that.
No, I did not. I needed to take a nap, but I did not. Just too busy running around and doing things.
Yeah, well, I got that. Well, that's not why we called. We called to find out what car you're driving. No, we didn't call it. Not the car you're driving today, because I know you have a fleet of cars that you can choose from, and she's got some very interesting rides. Maybe we'll get to that later. But wanted to talk to you today about holiday travel, and you know, more and more people are traveling via car or van or truck or whatever it is to go see Aunt Mary and or other relatives or friends or whatever the case may be. And so I thought that we would talk to you today about maybe perhaps some maintenance tips that we really should do before we go on the road, because a lot of people take the car that they drive back and forth to work every day on a road trip, and there are times that, you know, you need to have it checked, or you could get out there and do some checks yourself. I'll let you just kind of guide us through all of this. When it's time to get under the hood and look, check the oil, that sort of stuff, or if you're not really feeling comfortable about that, maybe perhaps taking it over to Professional Auto Care and let you guys look at it. So how do you want to start?
Well, I I definitely do want to say that cars had been sitting for more time this year, just with a lot of people staying home and working. Really, really important to get the car checked out before you take it out of town, and give the shop or yourself a bit of time before you actually need to leave for your trip. So if you're going to leave in a week or two, now would be a great time to take it in versus waiting until the day before or 2 days before. Being in the service side of the business, we are still seeing part availability affect our completion times. So you want to make sure that you're able to give the shop or yourself enough time to get the repairs done so that you can leave on time for your trip and feel, safe as you do that. Another thing I'd recommend is actually ask the shop to go over the car with you so you know how to check your oil, so you know what the different gauges and lights mean, so you're not calling your shop in a panic, this light came on, or I'm from out of town, I don't know what this means. Make sure you have your owner's manual. If you don't want to read it, at least leave it in the glove box so in case you need to read it, you know where it's at. And even get together a little emergency kits. I have a blog. It's called maintenanceisamust.com, and I put different checklists and tips on there. So even if you're out of town or you're not in Southwest Houston, you can't make it to my shop, there's a lot of free information on there from different checklists.
I have a question. Carolena, aren't shops considered essential businesses during all of this?
Essential business, yes. However, if people are not driving as much,
and to that point, I mentioned this to the guys all the time, that I'll gas up or I'll fill up the tank on a Saturday before I come into the studio, and the next weekend I still have 3/4 of a tank of gas because I don't go and I work from home. So that's part of it as well. When you said that, maintain your vehicle and know what you got. The gasoline too. The gasoline's not going to go bad in a week, but some folks aren't driving it that much where they do need to cycle through that.
Absolutely, 100% right.
And I'd also wanted to talk to you about some of the simple things that people need to do before they go on a road trip. And I know it's silly sounding, but for some reason, tires get lost in the equation. It's
Absolutely.
like, well, it's got air in it, so it's good for me.
Right.
But the way that today's tires, and Jeff can attest to this, the way that today's tires are built and the way that they look with the lower profile, sometimes it's kind of hard to tell whether it's low on air pressure or not. And it's real easy to get a tire gauge. Even the simple stick tire gauges will work. At least you can get close to what the recommended tire pressure is supposed to be.
And not only that, because of the weather changing as well. You mentioned that Tuesday is going to be dropping into a low temperature.
Yeah.
That's part of it as well.
Yeah. And so, do you ever do classes over there?
Clinics, yeah.
Clinics, classes?
Yes, we do classes. Whether it's, I think our most popular one are for young drivers. So whenever a client who's in a Service Smart program and their kid reaches age where they're going to start driving, they have a little one-on-one with either me or my dad, and they get a checklist going over different things that are important to check on the car. And it's something they can actually turn into their parents once a month. So that way there's building that sort of accountability. I hated doing it as a kid, but I'm really grateful for it at the same time. It's very empowering whenever you know what you need to do. We actually had a story where a young lady was going to school in Austin, and she had a flat tire. She was able to change her tire herself. Two of her friends happened to be in the car with her, and they had no idea what to do, and they were beyond impressed that she could do this. Then she went to the tire shop. She knew what to ask for and knew how to check the uniform tire quality grading number that's along the sidewall. And the
UTQG, right? UTQG. Yep.
Yeah. So she was just sharing how such a wonderful experience it was to feel empowered enough to know what questions to ask.
What is the most common failure that can be avoided on cars that have 30,000 miles on them, and you see them broken down on the side of the road? Not very often, but what's the most common failure? Is there such a thing? Did you see more of? Is it a water pump? Is it low oil? What is it?
I think with cars that are probably gonna have less miles, I think the biggest thing would probably be tires, just lack of proper maintenance of the tires.
Sure.
I think as the car gets older in mileage, it's gonna really depend on how that person was treating the car, how much maintenance they've gotten in the past. Right. So I think it really depends on the age as far as what failures are more likely to see. AAA has always said that battery is the number one cause for people being stranded in this in different places. That's the number one reason they get called out. So I think the biggest thing is, instead of worrying about what these failures are, is be proactive, find a shop that you can build a relationship with, find a place that's going to take you out and show you what your car needs, so that way you know what you need to do in order to be successful. So you don't have to even worry about those things, have those scary little thoughts be creeping up in your head.
Yeah, it's a stress point.
Is there a typical mileage where on a car that the brakes start squealing and actually you've run through all the pads on it? On a typical new car, and if you actually, in a typical owner, how often do you have to change the brakes on the car?
Again, it's really going to depend on the person driving the car. I have some around the town, very non-aggressive, or I would think by looking at them, drivers who happen to go through pads in like 35,000 miles.
Right.
And I have other clients who, let's say, have quite a bit of driving experience, maybe a more healthy mix of city and highway, 100,000 miles.
Oh my! So there's that big of a swing.
I think it's really going to depend on your driving habits.
Yeah.
As far as what is going to impact your maintenance.
And how often you drive it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And how you drive it. How do you come to a stop? Are you going to speed limit? Are you slowing down too late as you pull up to that light? There's a lot of different factors. I think the more we understand how something works, the more we can be responsible as far as managing the costs associated with it.
And I found that too, because I'm a little older. So I found that, my brakes do last longer because I don't have that heavy foot on the gas to slam on the brake and all that. So that's my point. The question I also had, when you do service work on a vehicle, do you offer warranties?
Like extended warranties, or?
Well, you don't do them on wearable parts. Obviously, like brakes, you don't do warranties on wearable parts. But is there a classification, like if you do an alternator, is there a manufacturer warranty on the part? Do you offer a warranty through the shop, or maybe a water pump?
Like what we do, even for like brake pads, we have a program called Service Smart. And if you're in our Service Smart program and it's 2 years or 24,000 miles, we'll just put on free whatever that X, Y, or Z part was.
Right, okay.
So even if it was pads or rotors, whatever, we would still honor that and take care of it.
Interesting.
I really find that it's really important to choose the quality of the part. And as long as we are sharing with our clients the different options that are available, whether we want to go with an aftermarket or an OES, OEM, or the actual OE, understanding what we're paying for and the difference is really going to determine the success of that repair. So that person doesn't even need to worry necessarily about the warranty. The warranty will be there, obviously. But if you're picking a high quality part and you're having a certified person putting it on, the likelihood that you're going to need that warranty drops dramatically.
Right. So it all depends on the budget too. I mean, you get a good, better, best on products. Exactly.
Okay, so here's my next question for you. I hate the shifter in my Corvette. I really do, and I'm thinking about perhaps getting an aftermarket performance shifter in it. Do you guys do that kind of work?
We do not.
You don't? Okay. Well, I need to find somebody that does. I mean, do you recommend? Do you have somebody on the side that you?
I can ask around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can ask around.
Because I don't trust myself, and not only that, I can't. There's no way that I could get underneath the car to do the work myself. It'd have to be on a lift somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you don't do that.
I stick with, my whole goal really is to educate people on how to take care of something, because in school we never learn how to take care of something. So our society, we constantly buy and throw away, which is obviously great for capitalism short term. But when you are learning to care for something, you can offer jobs for people specifically in trade versus the traditional pushing of a college degree and getting in debt. So my whole goal really is just to educate people how to take care of something, and that just happens to be about cars. So maintenance is my thing.
There you go.
Maintenance is her thing. You know, there's a slogan in that.
A bumper
at
sticker.
Professional, at Professional Auto Care.
I'm going to get a T-shirt.
Maintenance is my thing.
Maintenance is my thing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, would that be high maintenance? No, it wouldn't be.
No, you're high maintenance. You're high maintenance.
I'm the high maintenance one.
It's not a shifter, it's shiftless.
Shiftless. That's exactly right. Oh, my gosh. You know, you can't dress us up and take us anywhere,
Nope.
can you?
Not you.
No, and she's very polite and just a little head shake. No,
I think we lost the signal.
We lost the signal.
Just gonna stay very still now.
So now you are getting into a period right now. Now that we're past Thanksgiving, where a lot of road trips are going to be taken here, and they're all going to come in a matter of a couple of weeks. Actually, people take off, go to Aunt Mary's house, wherever they're going to go. And this is really your busiest time of the year, isn't it?
Right. So we're going to do a lot of road trip checkouts between now and Christmas. A lot of Service Smart checks. That's the program that we've developed as far as analyzing what state a car is in and prioritizing the repairs. And I highly encourage people to go get your car looked at sooner than later. Remember, you don't have to decide right then and there if you give yourself time before going on the trip. You know, maybe you need to rent a car, or maybe you need to bring this other car in to have checked out because this one needs too many things. Right. So I encourage people to give yourselves options if you are going on a road trip, and make sure to take it in early so you can get it checked out. And you don't have to decide the same day.
Yeah, and my question is, do you take appointments, or is it better for an appointment in your shop, or do you just have walk-ins? How does that work?
We do not do any walk-ins. It's by appointment only.
Yeah, because if you did walk-ins, you'd have them lined up down the street all the time, because she's a very busy shop over there. Yeah, exactly.
It's very difficult to manage people's expectations, and I think clear communication is the only way to really achieve that. So on our website, professionalautocare.com, you can literally block off your appointment slot, so that way it's automatically taken off the website. No one else can have your time slot. So when you come in, we're able to give you our full attention. That's really what our goal is.
I've got a new business. Block a slot for 2 hours at her shop, and then sell that slot on eBay.
Yeah, mark it up. It's a 10% markup.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Is this something that you come in and wait for, or is this something?
The Service Smart check?
Yeah. I mean, is this going to be an hour-long thing, or somebody going to leave my car there because we don't know what's,
Right. So typically the first time someone gets it checked out, it's a master certified technician that's looking over the car. It's not a lower level technician. And he probably spends, I'd say, at least an hour to hour and a half with the car. And we can bring you out to the shop. You can look at it on the car. We can go over all the concerns that we found on the vehicle. Or you're welcome to drop it off, and we'll send you an email. And it's my job to prioritize, have a conversation with the technician, put it in order, and write any notes that may be needed to help the client understand what exactly we need to do. Then from there, I'd make a corresponding estimate, send it to your email. You can get things done if you like to get things done the same day. You want to pick it up and think about it, pick it up and think about it, set up another appointment to bring it back closer to your trip.
That's awesome, yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, it is good stuff. Karolena, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us and coming into the shop just to talk to us today.
Nice.
Yeah, we really appreciate it as always, and we hope that you have a wonderful holiday season, and thanks again for joining us.
All right. Bye. Y'all take care.
Yeah, you do the same. Karolena Serratos, and she is with Professional Auto Care in Southwest Houston, and great family-owned business that is highly respected in the community. Okay. Like to remind you that you can always shoot us an email at info@nwheeltime.com. We'd love to hear your comments. Then they don't have to be clean. We encourage you to just tell it like it is.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah. Jeff likes to read those, especially.
Yeah, I do.
All right, time now for this hour's car review. And I get the short straw of this particular segment. I had a chance to drive the 2020 Hyundai Venue. When it showed up in the driveway, I thought, what is a Venue? Well, I'm going to tell you. So it comes in 3 different trim levels, the SE, the SEL, and the denim. Yeah, the denim.
Wow.
The reviewed trim level is the middle one, the SEL. This is considered a small SUV. For me personally, I would classify this as an extra small SUV. It'll seat 5 passengers, but boy, I'll tell you what, it's tight. Exterior changes from last model year, all new for 2020, as a matter of fact. Exterior features include extra large grille, as you can see there, with big lights below the small ones. That seems to be a trend these days. It's just a different look on the front, and some people like it, some people don't. It's not bad looking, it's just different. Looks like an angular Mini Cooper from the side shot. It does also offer an optional white roof. So if you are interested in a white roof, well, you can get that as well. It kind of like that Mini Cooper look. Wheel well edge guards on it. What I liked about it, the overall diminutive shape, very small, but it's maximum for minimum. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's maximum for minimum.
Less is more.
That kind of thing. Interior highlights include a very straightforward designed interior, big dial drive and traction control knob on the center console. You can see it right there. Simplified AC controls on the center stack. Comfortable cloth seating. I liked it. A cargo trunk room, tiny with the second row up. There you can kind of get a glance at it. I mean, the rear seat passenger's head is almost back there at the back glass.
Well, you did say Mini Cooper type.
It is, yes, very much so. Tiny with the second row up. Cargo room back there. Small cubby above the glove box and below the dash line. Now, as far as the engine is concerned, it's a 1.6 liter inline 4-cylinder with 121 large horsepower.
Woo-woo.
113 pound-feet of torque, but it's managed through a CVT, continuously variable transmission. Mileage, 30 city, 34 highway for combined to 32. I got 34.1 miles per gallon
That's
over
excellent.
358 miles.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, it doesn't have a whole lot of power, and that's where the mileage comes in. So don't expect, it's not that kind of a vehicle. It'll get you on the freeway, but it does take longer than most at 121 horsepower. So there you have it. That is my review of the 2020 Hyundai Venue.
Good stuff.
Well, it was an interesting car. It wasn't electric, but I would imagine that sooner or later that that will also be an electric option in that,
It's coming, brother.
because everybody is making room for electric drivetrains in the cars that currently have motors in them, gasoline engines.
And then the skateboard effect too.
The skateboard effect?
Yeah, where you get the
Oh, yes.
just the drop on.
Yeah, the drop-on bodies. But, they're going to have to be many of those because of different size vehicles. That's not one of those kind of vehicles that one size fits all. That's going to be on the Hyundai Kia skateboard platform for extra small.
There's going to be young geniuses like his kids that are into the automotive and can design that, and it's not a problem.
It's already happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it most definitely is. The auto industry is in a huge transition, huge right now. And most people are hearing rumblings about the electric movement that's currently underway at the factories, in the design studios.
Taking momentum.
Right. But, and Tesla really started all this stuff. And it's certainly not the price of gasoline anymore. We're still buying gasoline for under $2 a gallon. I mean, in a town that's built on oil,
Right.
It's kind of depressing, to be honest with you, because a lot of people have been laid off.
Right.
Do you think that gas price is going to go up?
Do I think gas prices are going to? I don't know. Because, it's not just gasoline that the refiners make. They make everything under the sun, plastic water bottles.
Yeah.
That's a petroleum product, believe it or not.
My hairbrush is plastic.
It is. Yeah. So is your hair. I've seen it when it was off.
Yeah.
Completely.
It's attached to the headset.
That's right. You put it on under the headset. That's right. So there is that.
Yeah.
I see how you fall off the rails real easy with this show.
It is well, it's my dementia kicking in. But that's been kicking in for many, many years. So there's that.
Nice.
Yeah. It's always good to talk to Karolena Serratos. As a matter of fact, I saw her week before last. I had to get the Corvette inspected. Not that it really is an issue. No lights on the console or anything like that. And it's just, you just go through the motions.
Right.
But that whole state inspection thing.
You don't do because your vehicle's age, and are there certain considerations on what is to be inspected, or you still have to get
Everybody has
emissions and everything?
Yeah, all of that. And
where's the cutoff on that?
I don't know.
Because they didn't always have the OBD2, right?
Pre-96, no, they did not. Matter of fact, I had to get the.
But they're not doing the tailpipe test, right?
No.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's what I meant, the emissions side.
Yeah.
No, they don't do the tailpipe test. No. I don't think that anybody does that anymore. I think that they just rely on the car's computer to make it work for them. Because they plug their computer, like Karolena's got one, and it's a state-owned, I guess, computer. And she plugs into the OBD2 port, and apparently it does.
Gets all the readings?
Yeah, it does everything. The only thing that she did have to do is take the gas cap off and put it onto some sort of thing to make sure that it's not leaking fumes.
Yeah, the return lines or something.
Yeah.
How do they do that with the new ones that don't have a gas cap?
I don't know.
We should have asked her.
We should have. Yeah. I didn't.
I think there's a setting in there they check off to say if it's got a gas cap or not.
No. Okay.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Because you pop open the door and you just plug the nozzle in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be darned.
Well, we won't have to worry about any of that anymore. I don't even know what the car's computer will be able to tell the state because there won't be any emissions.
Maybe it'll just be a flat fee. You never know.
I guess that
You talk about an electric
car. Yeah.
They make sure the
you're using too much power off the power grid to get that. Maybe that'll
plug you into the recharger and see how much the recharge is.
It'll be brakes and lights and wipers, and you're good.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Well, sort of like your electric bill from the electric company.
Yeah. Well, don't get me started. We'll have that conversation with Buzz Smith a little bit later in the show.
There you go.
Well, actually, he should be.
He's on next. He's ready to go.
He's ready to go. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to have Buzz, and we're going to talk about another EV trip that he took, and some sort of reporter dust up that he's had up there in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So we invite you to stay tuned for that. And I wanted to remind everybody that the In Wheel Time car show streams on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, TuneIn, Google Podcast, and Podcast Addict. And don't forget Pandora and Amazon have been added to the list now. So the In Wheel Time car show continues right after this quick break. Stay with us.
Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy a Lupi Tortilla breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, December 19th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods all in one place. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a 3-hour friends and family event. The Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Loopy founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, December 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. at the Loopy's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too, and you're invited to join us. We'll see you there.